What's up, guys? This is Morpheus with another PvP video. We got something super cool today, a dueling tournament between both Horde and Alliance players on Classic Era. This is on the North American Whitemane server. Let's check out some of our contenders. We got Maclol here. He's repping, it looks like full T3 Nax gear and Wraithblade, probably a full Bis Warlock. We got Smog here. This is a Frost Mage with ATS, and he's hiding his gear right now, but I'm pretty sure he's got full T3 and probably almost full Bis, if not full Bis. Definitely going to be hard to beat. I'm liking the Fire Breath walk-in intro. Yeah, cool style there. We got Fatjaws here. You guys know Fatjaws. This is a pretty much full Nax geared rogue. We got Blacmagik here. Blacmagik is repping the T3 Priest set with also the DPS caster weapon. Viengo, this is a Troll Warrior with Thunder Fury, and it looks like he's got the High Warlord PvP set and also the T2.5 shoulder pads. Dafunc, this is a Warlock reppin T2.5 and also the Nax caster dagger. Dafunc talks a lot of trash here. I'm going to do my best to try to just remain unbiased. We got Xerolol here. This is the homie. You guys know Zero. He's repping the full Grand Marshal set with Mvpqtcamgirl. And then, of course, we have Tritus. Tritus is our 3-time reigning champion here and definitely favorited to win this tournament. He's won the past 3 tournaments in a row and has remained undefeated. So looking forward to watching Tritus fight here. And yeah, he's repping full T2.5 and Mvpqtcamgirl, and he is a Holy Prot combo spec. Should be very interesting to see. Also, we've got Sifu here. This is a Shadow Priest Grand Marshal. He's repping the Grand Marshal set. I was late to his walk-in. I didn't get to see it, but we can check out his gear right now. Yeah, interesting setup. Very cool to see a rank 14 Grand Marshal Shadow Priest. I also will be participating in the tournament today, and I am a balanced druid with partial Bis. I am definitely the least geared person here and fully expect to get my ass kicked. But it's still going to be fun. With that, let's jump into it. Before we kick off these fights, let's go ahead and check out the brackets. So starting from the bottom, we have Blacmagik vs Defunc for our first fight. That's going to be a Priest versus Warlock. Then we have Tritus vs Smog, Paladin versus Frostmage. Then we have Lorm vs Mac. That's going to be a Shaman versus Warlock. We then have Fatjaws vs Shadowworks. Now Shadowworks ended up not being able to come, so we had Akaran sub in. Akaran is a full Bis PvE warrior, and although he is actually in his PvE spec, he's going up against a rogue, so it's generally favored warrior over rogue, although he's in his PvE spec, so that will be an interesting fight. We then have Sifu vs Mvpqtcamgirl. It's quite the name. MVP didn't get a walk-in, but is a full Bis, from what I can tell, full Bis Nax T3 hunter. For the second round, we've got Xerolol, we've also got Viengo, and then myself. Full disclosure, I do not know the moves of all these classes, so I apologize in advance if I make a mistake while commentating. I'll do my best to commentate on what I do know. And with that, let's jump into it. Starting off round 1, with Dafunc and Blacmagik. Blacmagik actually opens by rocket helming the Fell Hunter, which I think is actually a really smart move because the Fell Hunter has both a silence and is able to remove offensive spells that Blacmagik puts on Dafunc. Blacmagik is healing up. Dafunc already popped his trinket and he's got his shield up right now. Blacmagik has a good mana lead on Dafunc right now. Dafunc is kind of already low on mana. He just burned a fear there. Blacmagik is keeping his bubble up here. Dafunc is actually super low on mana right now, but he's maintaining pretty good DPS. Dafunc has definitely had a DPS lead here over Blacmagik. Blacmagik has got Dafunc feared right now. He's reapplying his dots and his silence, and the silence was immediately removed. Blackmagik is doing a good job of keeping himself up right now. It looks like he used his trinket on that fear. They're both getting really low on mana, although Dafunc still has less mana. Dafunc is feared right now. Blackmagik is going for a smite. And they both threw the grenade at the same time, and Dafunc's grenade actually landed and stunned Blackmagik there. And it looks like they're both and actually, we've got a turn of events here now. Dafunc actually has more mana, and Blackmagik is feared right now and is getting really low on mana. Dafunc is bandaging. Let's see what's it going to be. It looks like they're both pretty much right now. Blackmagik has got a third fear off now on Dafunc. Since he's got that Fell Hunter on him, though, he's not really able to drink or use any bandages. Oh no, Blackmagik is having to wand right now. He's completely Dafunc pops his trinket, and I'm lagging, and that's it. Oh man, bad lag right there at the end, but Dafunc got the KO on Blackmagik. That was a good fight, went all the way up to the end there when they were both pretty much Starting round 2 here, Blackmagik opens with a silence on Dafunc and is applying his dots. He doesn't have the rocket helm this time for the Fell Hunter. I will say there's a 2.5 minute interval between fights, so some cooldowns will be back up, but not all of them. Blackmagik is doing a pretty good job of keeping himself up and trying to heal through that damage, although he's getting low on mana already. But so is Dafunc. Dafunc is burning a lot of mana to try to get some strong DPS down. Blackmagik's grenade landed there. That was a good grenade. And Dafunc is healing with a bandage. He bandaged there, and the Shadow Word Pain broke it. And Dafunc is silenced right now. He's popping his shield. Blackmagik is feared right now. Dafunc again low on mana. But he's maintaining that really heavy DPS. Blackmagik is having to do a lot to try to keep himself alive. They're both staying topped off, but they're getting close to being Ooh, and there was a fear, and it looked like maybe it was reflected or something. It looked like Blackmagik ended up fearing himself there. That might cost him the fight. Blackmagik is completely and Dafunc is able to free cast, and he gets the KO. And Dafunc is going to advance on to the next round after going 2-0 against Blackmagik. That was really well played, and both those fights went pretty much up to the end there. You got a little bit of extra pressure during this tournament while, all your peers and also some of your enemies are all standing here watching you fight. Getting into the next fight here, we've got MVP versus Sifu. Again, this is going to be what seems to be almost full bis T3 Hunter versus a Grand Marshal Shadow Priest wearing the PvP set. Oh man, and the skeleton ate the trap. That could potentially work in Sifu's favor by eating the trap, especially since he's already out of it. And the second one. So MVP is not able to get the stun on him. And Sifu actually... Oh, nice, man. Double. Sifu got both the Tidal Charm and the grenade. And MVP is super low already. Sifu's almost out of mana, but Sifu finishes the fight with pretty much full health. That was wild, man. He just ate that hunter like it was nothing. We're going into round 2. MVP's sending his bat out. He's using the bat, which is smart. I believe it has a silence against casters. Sifu's got his dots on MVP right now. He's keeping himself up. He's hit with a scatter shot, and he's dropping the trap. He doesn't have the skeleton this time. It's on cooldown to eat the trap, so this time Sifu is stuck in the ice trap. And MVP is, I think, waiting for this Shadow Word Pain. There we go. Yeah, he was trying to eat between the Shadow Word Pain. And there goes the aim shot. And it just barely does anything, which is crazy. I mean, that would almost KO me. And Sifu was barely touched. They hit each other with the grenades at the same time. That's some PvP reflexes right there. MVP tried to get in close to drop another trap, but Sifu was smart and ran off there. And MVP is super low. He's got his dots on him. He's got the Mind Flay, and that's game. Sifu advances to the next round, 2-0, and finishes the fight again with full health, but almost no mana. Those were wild, man. That was really impressive on Sifu's part to just blow a hunter up like that. I mean, a hunter is a really tough person to fight in Era. They put out tons of damage. Really impressed he was able to keep himself up through that. Alright, getting to the next round, we've got Tritus vs Smog. Now notice Tritus has changed up his gear. He's actually going for a resistance set. So he's trying to do this to mitigate some of the damage. Again, Smog has got ATS and full T3. So he's going to be hitting super hard. Tritus is trying to mitigate that with a resistance set. Tritus goes right in and he's interrupted. He was going to throw the grenade and he's straight into the polymorph. Smog is lining up like Fire Blast, and now he's popping his trinket, I think the Mind Quickening gem, and Tritus popped his skeleton, and he's already super low. Smog still has that Mind Quickening gem up. Tritus goes ahead and pops the bubble pretty early on. We're only, say 15-20 seconds into this fight, and he's popping his bubble. That just goes to show the kind of damage that Smog is putting out, really big damage. Smog's trying to kill the pet, and Tritus actually keeps it up and is able to flash heal it. He's connected. Tidal Charm on Tritus so that way Smog can get some distance here. Into the polymorph. So far Tritus has been able to out-heal all the damage. The pet is still up. I'm not sure who threw that grenade there, but it was a miss on the grenade. Tritus has got the Hodge on Smog and he ice blocks it. And polymorph on Tritus. They're both pretty low on mana right now. Smog's actually drinking. Smog's going to drink to try to pick up his mana, and so is Tritus. They're going to sit here and drink, both pick up their mana just a bit. Tritus's mana will probably regenerate faster. Tritus is going in and he's polymorphed again. Both about half mana here. He's got the Frostbolt on Tritus, and a second one, and a third one, and Tritus goes down. Wow, that was not expected, especially that early in the fight. Generally, Tritus can really go on for some pretty long fights. I think we were all expecting that to last a really long time. And in a surprising upset, the 3-time champion actually goes down in the first fight there. Wow, really big damage by Smog. Was not expecting that. We open the fight and Tritus gets the grenade off this time. And he's able to connect with Smog pretty early on. He's in the polymorph now. And again, Smog is popping what I believe is Mind Quickening Gem. Tritus has got the Reflect. He was able to reflect one of those Frost Bolts with his trinket. And in an absolutely, wow, in a total upset, our 3-time champion actually goes down in round 1 to Smog. That was a super fast duel. I don't think Tritus was expecting that damage, which is why he was holding on to his bubble and didn't pop it. Yeah, I really don't think he was expecting that damage there. I've seen Tritus fight a lot. You guys know Tritus, 170,000 kills, most kills in Classic Era. You just really never see him lose fights. So that was pretty wild. I think that was very unexpected, especially to hit that kind of damage through the resistance set. Very wild. We've got Lorm vs Maclol here. Lorm's connecting here. And it looks like he's on top of him. He's kind of spinning around to try and throw him off. And Lorm's going from there's the big shock. And he didn't quite get the KO on Maclol there. Lorm's trying to pick himself up. Lorm's already super low. He dropped a grounding totem. And Lorm goes down super fast. Kill. Yeah, both of them really bursty there. Notice that Maclol didn't even really use any of his fears. He was just trying to burst down Lorm, and it actually worked out there. Lorm's opening with the big shock here. And he's not able to get off. He actually kind of backs off. He throws an interrupt instead on Maclol. Not sure what he popped there. And Lorm's feared and title charmed. And Maclol gets the KO just like that. Super quick fight. Big damage. Big burst from Maclol there. Especially against the shaman who, shamans are known for their burst. And he definitely got outbursted there. Now this is going to be an interesting setup. We've got Fatjaws versus Akaran. Now as I talked about earlier, warrior is definitely going to be favored over rogue, especially a warrior who's got a shield on. With that being said, Akaran is actually in his PvE spec. He was not expecting to fight tonight, but he ended up subbing in for a mage. And Fatjaws is already kind of getting a pretty good opener with him. The arena rules here are that stealthies get the uncontested opener. So Fatjaws gets that uncontested opener on Akaran here. And Fatjaws is back in stealth. He's waiting to reset. He's going to get another opener. Akaran's not bandaging right now. That probably would be the move. And Fatjaws got the cheap shot. And he pops evasion. He's kind of backing off. He's trying to stay just at a distance so he doesn't get charged. There we go. And he's able to re-stealth. And he goes in for the kidney shot. And he's also got exposed armor, I believe, on Akaran. Akaran's finally connecting and getting Fatjaws. Look at that damage. See how much he dropped him already. Anytime a warrior is able to connect on a rogue, they generally can drop them pretty quickly. The trick is to actually be able to connect. And Fatjaws got him on the cheap shot. Super close. Fatjaws got Akaran blinded right now, and he's bandaging. Akaran's pretty low, and he's in the blind. Is Fatjaws going to be able to reset with stealth? And he is, yep. And he goes for the sap. And he's waiting it out for just a second here. There we go. He re-stealths again into the cheap shot. And that's game. Very well played on Fatjaws. That definitely shows the skill of a rogue when they're able to beat a warrior, especially a full T3 warrior with the shield on. I mean, Akaran's got full bis to my knowledge, so to be able to hit through all of that is definitely super tough. Let's check it out. Grand Marshal, 52,000 kills, and repping pretty much full Nax gear. I'd say that Fatjaws is very close to full bis, I think, if not full bis. So pretty much full bis rogue versus full bis warrior. Again, though, I think the biggest thing is the fact that Akaran is not in his PvP spec right now. Fatjaws again gets the opener, and he's going for the gouge, just trying to kind of reset here. And he's going right back into it, not enough to stealth. Akaran switching to Dark Edge here, showing off all his weapons. He's got, again, he's pretty much got anything you could ever want as a warrior in Classic. Akaran's sapped right now. Fatjaws is resetting again for another opener. There it is, the cheap shot and also exposed armor. That wasn't a pot. I believe it's some sort of trinket that Fatjaws used right there. And they're going off right now. Fatjaws has got evasion, so Akaran's not really able to get any damage on him. Fatjaws pops a shield, probably Burrower's Shell. And there it is, and that's game. Very well played. Very well played. Again, super tough for a rogue to go up against a warrior. We appreciate Akaran for jumping in, subbing in last minute. Jump into the next fight. We got Xerolol versus Sifu. Warrior versus Shadow Priest. A matchup you don't see very often. Sifu's got his dots on 0. And he's going in for the Mind Flay. He's got his full rotation on 0 right now. And look at this. 0's just connecting and Sifu's just healing right through it. He's barely able to do any damage. Sifu's damage mitigation is honestly insane. And Sifu's got the Tidal Charm on 0. Oh man, he's stunned and that's it, man. That's game. Wild, honestly. As someone who's fought 0 many times, 0 is a fantastic player, easily one of the best warriors on Classic era. And for Sifu to be able to take him out like that, I think really shows Sifu's skill as a Shadow Priest. It's a weird matchup, but man, he just mitigated that damage really well. Getting into the second fight here. Xero connects with the charge. Sifu's kiting a little bit more this time. Xero's popping a shield, assumed to be Burrower's Shell. He's stunned right now. Sifu's got his full rotation on Xero right now, and he's going for the Mind Flay. And just look at that, man. I mean, despite, and Xero gets some distance there, and he goes for the charge and stuns Sifu. He's finally able to get some damage on him there, and it's just not quite enough. Xero goes down. Impressive play by Sifu there. That damage mitigation is really wild. All right, I'm going up against Dafunc. Balanced Druid versus Lock. This is generally a pretty tough matchup. Definitely favored for the Warlock. I do get the uncontested opener. I'm setting up the root here, trying to max range it. Got the root and the Moonfire Insect Swarm. He's already got his dots on me. I'm popping Rocket Boots. He's got the Tidal Charm on me. Already getting kind of low. Reapplying those dots. Nature Swiftness, full heal. The Healing Touch. Get some distance here. I need to heal myself back up. I'm completely I have no mana already. Into the Death Coil. Rocket Boots are kind of taking me out of the arena. I'm going to run back in, toss in a grenade. And I'm dead before I can get the grenade off. Dafunc also popped Rocket Boots. And yeah, that was rough. I don't know what happened there. I think probably the Nature Swiftness heal, but I went within the first like 15 seconds of that. Tough matchup. I'm not really able to kite a whole lot in this arena. So yeah, that's a tough matchup, but let's try it again. Opening with Pounce this time. Gonna go for the Moonfire Insect Swarm. Able to get my dots this time. Let's see if we can get a Wrath in. Got a Wrath in. Popped the Shadow Reflect, and I reflected his coil. That's super lucky, gonna be honest. Getting another Wrath off. Switching to Bear. And we get the Feral Charge. Yep, Feral Charge. And going to Bear Stun. Gonna heal myself back up. Full heal with the Nature Swiftness. He's still in the Bear Charge there. Reapplying dots. Get the Wrath. Trinket the Fear there. Again, reapplying the dots. Come on. Gonna get another Wrath off here. Nope, he got me with the grenade. Feared right before I could toss my grenade. And it looks like I'm gonna go down in the Fear. Yeah. Played that one much better, but again, it still was not enough. Pretty lucky with the Shadow Reflect on the Death Coil there. And yeah, that was rough. At least the Feral Charge to Bear Stun did something that was able to kind of hold off the damage for a little bit. I was able to get him down just a bit more that time, but just wasn't quite enough. Dafunc is going to move on to the next round, and I am out. For the next matchup, we've got Viengo versus Smog. Frostmage versus a Warrior. We all kind of know how this is going to go. Smog is already Tidal Charmed Viengo and allowed him to get the Polymorph off. This is definitely a tough matchup and in the favor of the Mage. Viengo's connecting there with the charge, but Smog is able to blink right away from it. Good grenade there by Viengo. He's slowed right now. Smog's able to kite him and get those Frostbolts off. I do want to say Viengo said ahead of time he was expecting Tritus to win, so Viengo actually spec'd into a spec that he was anticipating to use against Tritus. Viengo's already super low. He got a Rocket Helm off there, and Smog is able to Ice Block through the Rocket Helm. Viengo's connecting here, and Viengo goes down. Well played by Smog. That's, again, a really tough matchup in favor of the Mage. I think Viengo still played it really well with those grenades and getting to be able to connect there. Viengo again opens with the charge. And he's stuck in the ice right now. He's throwing a grenade. Slight miss on the grenade. Barely missed that grenade. And Smog was able to get the Polymorph off. Smog's popping his trinket. And here comes, a really big Frostbolt right there. I can guarantee you Viengo's got quite a bit of health. He's also has a resist set on right now. I believe he's got a few pieces that are resist pieces right now. Smog's doing evocation to kind of pick himself back up. just to make sure he's topped off mana and health-wise. He's able to, with the polymorphs, he's able to kind of just play this safe, keep his distance, and take his time here. Looks like Viengo's doing a Diamond Flask set. Yep, he switched into healing gear and popped a Diamond Flask. So he's going to start healing up now. This is definitely going to help him survive and kind of mitigate this damage. He's slowed though, and Smog is able to kind of just do the continuation of the kiting into polymorph. I can only imagine this is probably a very frustrating fight for a warrior, as Smog right now is drinking and picking him, trying to maintain full mana. Again, he's just playing it safe. Viengo gets the charge there, lost him for a second, and Smog's got him in another polymorph. It's starting to have the diminishing returns. Those polymorphs are getting gradually slower. Smog is able to get himself off right there with the ice trap. Good grenade by Viengo, but it seems like the stun was resisted. Smog's popped his Mind Quickening, and he's able to get 3 Frostbolts in a row. And it looked like there was the fear on Smog there, but he trinketed, I believe. Viengo's super low, and Smog's able to finish it off with full health. Well played by Smog and Viengo. Again, that Diamond Flask was really good. He definitely allowed him to stay alive for quite a bit of time. Smog is going to advance to the next round. We got Maclol here versus Fatjaws. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Now, Fatjaws, notice that he popped Skull of Impending Doom to try to break. There goes the skull, breaks the fear there, and he slightly misses on the grenade. Mac also popped a Skull of Impending Doom, and Fatjaws goes down super fast. I think that skull was up for quite a bit of time and actually drained him, and Mac was able to just nuke him down. And vanilla rogues do not have cloak, so this is definitely a really tough fight for Fatjaws. Fatjaws is fearing the, and he's going in on the pet just a little bit. Fatjaws has rocket helmed. Nice. Fatjaws got a rocket helm off on Maclol, and he's going for the pet. He's able to kill the succubus. So now Mac does not have a pet, and Fatjaws is able to blind Mac. Definitely got a much better strategy this time. He's waiting to stealth. Okay, he's going straight into the opener. He's got him in the cheap shot and in the kidney shot. Here goes some good damage there. I believe Fatjaws popped a shadow reflector there. Fatjaws is stuck in the net. He's able to vanish out of it. He's stealthed right now. Maclol has already bandaged. Fatjaws gets a sap off on him, and he is able to bandage and pick himself back up. Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, snap, and Maclol just rocket helmed Fatjaws. Fatjaws had so much momentum there, and it was really going in his favor. This might completely turn around the duel here. Maclol is bandaging, and now he's getting his dots on Fatjaws. Fatjaws has already used his vanish. He's going to start taking tons of damage right now. Fatjaws is going to be dropping really quick. He's got Maclol in the blind right now. He's resetting for another opener. Fatjaws is super low, but he's got him in the cheap shot right now. They're both super low, and Fatjaws goes down. Maclol pulls it off at the very end. Barely any health. Look at that. Like maybe 1 or 2 more seconds, and I think Fatjaws would have had that. All right, for the semifinals, we've got Sifu versus Maclol. Sifu has his skeleton out right now. And he's got his dots on Maclol. Max also got his dots on Sifu, and I believe, yeah, Sifu had popped the silence pretty early on. Look at that damage, man. This is the first person to kind of really get some good damage on Sifu. Good grenade by Sifu. And then straight into a fear. Sifu's got his full rotation on Maclol right now, and he's able to pick himself back up. He's got a good damage lead. Right now, Mac's super low on mana. Mac's getting really low. That's a big cast. Can he get it off? And, oh man, Sifu's able to finish it with the wand. And super low on mana. That was a close fight. Wow, really good fight there in the semifinals. Sifu vs Maclol. Honestly impressed that that was the first player to really get some good damage on Sifu. But he's just been wrecking, man. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's always really nice when you see a player like this that's just kind of quiet and hangs out and is not super well known, and to just jump in like this, Grand Marshal Shadow Priest, and just he's been wrecking so far. So really good fight there. They got one more. Sifu does not have his skeleton this time. It's on cooldown. And Mac has changed his gear up a little bit for some more shadow resistance is what I would assume. Sifu's able to get the grenade off on Maclol there. Sifu's got a really good damage lead right now. He's doing some good damage mitigation. He's got the fear off on Maclol. Here comes a big one. Sifu's got his full rotation on Maclol right now. He's got really good pressure. Mac's kind of trying to get him back right now with the fear. And Sifu's got Max silenced, and everything is removed with the Fell Hunter. That is so overpowered. Sifu's super low on mana right now, actually. Super low. Mac might be able to turn this around, and Mac gets the grenade off. That's exactly what he needed. Sifu's completely low on mana. He's wanding right now. He might go down here. He pops a shield. He's going for a fear. He was able to fear the pet, but Mac got out of it. And Sifu goes down, and Mac takes the win. They're 1-1 right now, so it's going to go on to a third fight. Really well played by Mac that time. Sifu went Yeah, good damage mitigation on Mac. I think that that tier set that he switched to has really helped him there. We got a third round here. Sifu's already got his full rotation and a silence on Mac. Again, everything is removed by the Fell Hunter. And Sifu's got the grenade off on Mac. Again, good lead, good pressure. Sifu's already decently kind of low on mana, although they're pretty matched right now with their mana. He's got his full rotation on Mac right now. And he was able to, again, he's got the pet feared, but Mac's able to get out of the fear, I assume, with a trinket. Sifu's healed himself back up to full. Just such good damage mitigation. Maclol's super low on mana. Sifu's starting to wand him. Let's see where Sifu's got a decent amount of mana right now. Mac gets him with the grenade. Mac's super low. Sifu's got the fear off, and he's going in for the kill, and again finishes it off with a wand. Wow. Really well played. Just, that's impressive, man. That was so well played by Sifu. To my knowledge, generally a Warlock is favored in this matchup. And yeah, I mean, that was probably pretty much perfectly played by Sifu. I cannot imagine that going any better than the way it did. Sifu moves on up to the finals. For the other semifinals, we've got Dafunc vs Smog. Smog's popped his skeleton, and he popped the title charm to go ahead and get that damage lead and pressure. And the skeleton is out, man. The skeleton is feared out of the arena. Smog ice blocks there. And he's got Dafunc in the polymorph. Good grenade there on Smog, and he instantly blinks out of it. Really good reflexes. Smog's popping the quickening gem here, expecting some big damage. They're both already super low on health. Smog's going to ice block that to reset. There we go. Dafunc's really good on health right now. And Smog is super low. Wow, and Dafunc just takes it like that. That was, yeah, I'm surprised. Dafunc really had good damage mitigation there. I believe he had Soul Link up on his pet and was able to pick his health back up because Smog initially had a really good damage lead. They're saying in the chat right now that it looks like Dafunc has actually hid the fact that he has Soul Link this entire time, and he has not used it in previous fights until just now. Sort of hiding his spec. Again, in vanilla, you cannot see what other players' specs are directly by inspecting them like you can in later phases. We got another fight against Smog versus Smog is able to open with the polymorph. And he's silenced right now, so he's going to have to wait it out. Good silence there by Dafunc. He's able to prevent Smog from free casting. Smog's got his shield up, and Dafunc is out of the polymorph, the second one. A good reflector there. I think that was a good shadow reflect. And Smog goes down super fast. Wow, big damage from Dafunc. Yeah, look at that. He's ending it with almost like full health. Dafunc is going to be moving on to the finals to fight Sifu. All right, this is the final round. Dafunc lands the grenade on Sifu's skeleton. Sifu's got his full dot rotation on Dafunc right now, and he's feared with the death coil. Sifu's already pretty low right now. He's going in for the Mind Flay. Again, he's got his full... Nice, and he hits him with his fear. Sifu's doing a good job right now. Dafunc pops a shield, and the shield just goes away instantly with Sifu's damage. Oh man, Sifu's getting him super low. Again, Dafunc, I believe, pops that Soul Link. He's able to pick himself back up. Super low. Can Sifu pull it off? And there's the fear, and Sifu gets the first win in the finals against Dafunc. Nice. Well played by Sifu. Really big damage. I think Dafunc was playing really aggressively that time, and it paid off in Sifu's favor because he was able to keep himself up. And yeah, I think Dafunc didn't do as much damage mitigation. There wasn't as many fears that he put out, sort of underestimating the damage that Sifu was going to be putting out, and Sifu was able to take that first win. Yeah, really well played there by Sifu. And we move on to the next fight of the finals. Sifu versus Dafunc. Here we go. And Dafunc opens it with a rocket helm. Saved that rocket helm all the way up until this point. Dafunc's going to, it looks like he's drinking just a little bit. He pops his trinket. He's going to get a big cast, big shadow bolt there on Sifu. And he's also got him with the death coil. Got a good lead and pressure right there. And he's got the Tidal Charm on Sifu. This is rough. This is going really well in Dafunc's favor right now, playing it really well. Sifu's already super low. Sifu misses the grenade. He really needed that to be able to pick himself back up. And Dafunc lands the grenade. Another fear on Sifu. Sifu's healing himself up, and he's silenced by the Fell Hunter. Dafunc is pretty much out of mana, but it doesn't matter. Sifu's going down. Really well played by Dafunc there. He got the rocket helm into the Tidal Charm with the grenade and then silenced the heal. Yeah, really well played by Dafunc there. And Sifu and Dafunc are going to go into a third match for the finals. Sifu opens with the grenade. Nice. Lands that initial grenade. He's able to get some of his dots on right off the bat. And Sifu is stunned there just for a second. Let's see, in the fear on Dafunc, and he trinkets out of it, but the pet is feared. Sifu's able to get his full rotation. The pet's feared right now. He's not able to remove those dots from himself. And the pet's back now. He's slowly getting those dots off. Sifu's got a good damage lead. He's feared though right now, and Dafunc's able to bandage. Yep, Dafunc's still bandaging, picking himself back up a lot. That's going to have a really big impact on how this game goes. Sifu's pretty low right now. Can he pull it off? Sifu's healing himself up. And there's the grenade. Interrupts the second heal. And the Fell Hunter's connected. Sifu's pretty low. And that's game. It goes to Dafunc in the finals. Dafunc is the official winner of this tournament. Very well played by Sifu there. He went all the way up to the last minute. And yeah, really well played by both players, Dafunc and Sifu, and also to all the other players who participated in this Dueling a tournament. And it looks like Dafunc is the champion. Yeah, very well played by everyone. Dafunc summons his big pet, who is now going to wreak havoc on the bystanders and viewers of this tournament. Man, that was impressive by all players, especially that second fight versus Dafunc and Sifu. Really well played by Dafunc. He held a lot of those cooldowns all the way to the very end and popped all of them on that second fight. And Dafunc is getting out of here, man. Look at that. He's going to Hearth. And Damascus isn't going to let him. Damascus is going to interrupt that Hearth. I think Dafunc is probably expecting to get team killed up here after having just won the arena tournament. But everyone is being respectful and not. So I just want to give a shout out to all the players here for participating. That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys like this video, please like, subscribe, check out the channel. I've got plenty of Druid, PvP, and Classic Era content on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.